Hi, I'm Rick Van Wieren, and we're doing Rick on Real Estate. And today my special guest is John Haney from Colorado Mortgage Company. John is one of our premier local lenders. We strongly recommend working with a reputable local lender when you purchase a home. And John's one of the best. So thanks for joining me today, John.
Thanks, Rick.
So today we're going to talk about how much can I afford, the economics of buying a home. And one of the first pieces of that whole concept is what will a lender do? Because most people are borrowing the money. In fact, 86% of the homes that sold last month in Colorado Springs had a loan involved. So John, talk to us a little bit about how you approach that.
Well, thanks, Rick. And I think it's important to understand the baseline of all mortgage lending is how much are you going to be paying on this home loan versus how much you're making. Meaning that the term is debt to income ratio. And that ratio drives the train. If you're over the ratio, no dice. Anything under, you're good. But there's so much more to it than that. On a basic overview, most of the time we're able to qualify people somewhere between 40 to 45% of their gross income. And what we're looking at is a breakdown of a payment that would include three different things. You've got the repayment of the loan itself, the principal and interest portion of the loan, which is driven by the loan amount and the interest rate and the term. The other two pieces are going to be the property taxes and the homeowner's insurance. I think a lot of people, when they're running their own calculations, and everybody's got a mortgage calculator on their site, but if you have operator error and you're not putting in the right information to start with, you're going to get bad numbers. So making sure that you're working with somebody who's a professional who can help you guide you through that is going to be very important. But you've got those pieces, the principal and interest of the loan, the taxes of the property, and the insurance, and sometimes mortgage insurance, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
So also I would say what's important is looking at a budget. And there's so much more that goes into owning a home once you have it. And getting qualified is one piece. Then what? What do you think?
Well, we're both homeowners, obviously, and we both run into the repairs and utilities and even deductibles on the homeowners when a hailstorm comes through or whatever. But how much do you like to normally budget in your own personal life for maintenance of your home?
Well, I think it's important to try to project what those other expenses are going to be. You've got lawn maintenance, painting. We're in Colorado. The sun's pretty, the sun's pretty strong here. So
yeah, it is.
More than likely, you're going to be repainting your deck or the trim on your home or something every few years. So you're going to have those costs: furnaces, air conditioning. There's a lot there, and I would say, figure a couple $1,000s a year in ongoing maintenance, and you can chunk that down into a monthly.
Yeah, a couple $300 a month.
Yeah, a couple $300 a month.
Sure.
Also, think about utilities. The average cost of utilities in Colorado Springs per month, I would say, is probably around $220 a month.
Yeah, actually, $220 is what the Colorado Springs Utilities uses for their kind of budget planning scenario they put on their website. Colorado Springs actually has some of the lowest utilities in the country, and we don't tend, most years, this year being an exception, we don't tend to run our air conditioners near as much as some other areas of the country do. But it's certainly something that you have to take into account.
That's right. So, and even things like cable, and you had mentioned, your deductible for your homeowner's insurance. I don't know what it is about Colorado Springs and hail. We do get a little bit of hail.
We get a little bit, and sometimes it's kind of big.
Sometimes it is. So having that deductible on your insurance in case you had a claim, you could factor that into your budget as well.
Yeah, for sure. So there's another piece that I like to talk to my clients about, and I don't know if we've ever had this conversation before, but there's the amount that you're paying for your home loan is really broken down into three different pieces than what John would break it down with. And that's the first being the housing component, and that's essentially what the rental value of what you're doing is. A single family home in Colorado Springs is right now hard to find for less than $1,500 a month. And the average two-bedroom apartment rent is over $1,100 a month already. So there's certainly a housing component. But the second thing, which is one of the great benefits of home ownership, is the whole deductibility of your payment and the fact that you're paying principal off on your loan. So at some point you're going to own your home free and clear. I call that the investment component. And another piece of that even is appreciation. And just last month, the median home price in Colorado Springs jumped 13.9%, which is just crazy.
That's incredible. And what I would say to add on to that, which is very important, if somebody's considering renting versus buying, the component of the payment that goes towards principal, that's a forced savings account. So not only is there appreciation, but you're also forcing your monthly mortgage or housing expense. A part of that is going to force a savings account.
And it's protecting you long term, right? Because
Right.
your mortgage payment doesn't change, whereas your rent payment goes up every year. The third piece that I like to talk to people about, and this is one that not everybody does talk about, but I call it happy money. And it's the part of your house payment that you pay to have the granite countertops that make you feel special about when you're working in your kitchen, or the view out the back window that makes you feel like you're really at home and that Colorado is really, kind of in your heart, so to speak. And for different people, obviously, those are different things, and sometimes we can't get past just the housing value portion based on the income they're at the moment. That will change long term, but you got to work with what you got to work with. But long term, that happy money piece, I think, is huge. And I think you and I both have seen it over the years, where we'll get calls and messages from people that have bought a house that had that special view or whatever. I saw a client's picture this morning they had taken of a sunrise that was magnificent, and I had mentioned it to them, and they had sent me a note back just saying thank you for selling this house 14 years ago, where we can enjoy this kind of a view out our back window. So that kind of wraps it up a little bit on how much I can afford. There's the amount the lender will give you, and there's the amount you feel comfortable with that after you take into account
Right.
all these other expenses. And then we just got to go out and find you that house that you can call your Colorado home. So thanks for joining us today on Rick on Real Estate.